And as we got to the 3rd and 4th grade, we went into the junior choir. The music was a little bit more sophisticated, but then there was a basketball team. And we were well, I guess puberty was there, but I don't know. It was delayed back then. We found ourselves in the basketball team. Once again, Miss Joanne was one of the starting players, and I, of course, sat on the bench. I had a lot of bench time going, so there were a group of us that, since we couldn't play, we would harmonize. Because that was the big thing then. You know, when you think about that time, the schools were open from 7 to 11. The public schools were. And the kids could go, they could dance, they could play basketball, and there was always a group dressed to the bone. And singing in the corner, they had like a crowd of girls. The Sequins and some very early R&B groups really got started that way.
Songwriting, your song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how the group got started. I picked a couple of people. When it got serious, when I heard Frankie Lyman and I decided, this is war, we can do this. And I never wanted to sing in a group. I knew I was a singer. But the group thing just happened at a time when I was really interested. So that's how we got together. So I picked one girl, Renee, and Jackie wrote me a note in church, and I got in trouble, but she wanted to know she could be in the group, and I said yes, and with Jackie came Lois. And then I don't remember how Sonia got involved, but she eventually came along, and they used to rehearse at my house because they wouldn't let me go out. So the rehearsals, and I had this piano, so I might as well. And I learned a couple of chords on the piano. Da, 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 da. You can write anything to that song. And that's what I did. And I had a lot of downtime because after homework was done, you were done. There was no going out, so you had to entertain yourself. Now, what was the last part?
No, that was basically I wanted to have some. Yes. He was going to Maybe. I mean, those were hit songs.
Yeah,
so,
the writing. The writing. So you know what I have discovered since I've been retired and since I just had a birthday, and you know, you do a lot of reflecting, you know, and I realized, you know, God gave me the singing thing. I'm not doing that so much. But I have a voice, but I'm a writer. I could write, now this is just, my last 10 years at the public school system, I did performing arts. I could write plays for them in a day, in a Sunday. And I'm like a crazy woman. I act out one part and run over to the other part of my room and answer it back and type it up and listen to the kids, the rhythm of the child's speech, right to that.
Wow.
And even poetry, if I'm in the right setting, it comes very easy. And I love to write dialogue, I really, really do. So I guess that's going to be my next few projects, hopefully. Do some writing, and I love to sing. Yeah, I think that's going to be really something that I get involved with.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Please, once again, give her a hand. I know
questions from the audience. If anyone has a question for Arlene, I'll give you the mic and you can ask her your question directly.
Hi. First of all, thank you so much for all the music you gave us.
Thank you.
And my question to you is, what was it like going in the recording studio? I guess Richard Barrett was your producer. What were those sessions like, those early sessions you did at End Records?
They were exciting, but we didn't walk in. We walked in overly prepared. Richard was relentless with the rehearsing and getting everything letter perfect, and he also played the piano on many of the songs that you heard, the introductions. He only learned how to play the black keys, so I sang in B flat a lot. when you walked in, there was an air of excitement. Usually there was a combo set up similar to the one you see with 4 musicians and a horn player named Buddy Lucas.
Yeah.
And Buddy Lucas played on a lot of our gigs. And it was done very simply. I had a booth. The girls had their booth and 4 on one mic and myself on another. I used to write out my lyrics, even though I knew them, but I just kind of zone and just read and just look at the words. And I heard a criticism and I laughed to myself because I said, that's something that a non-lead singer would say. But the more the mistakes they made, I loved it because I got a chance to do it again. And I used to think, wow, if I could just do this 50 more times, I'd get it perfect, you know? And I kept thinking, I compartmentalized it. I'd be at the mic, but in the back of my mind, I've got scenarios playing. So if it's something I'm supposed to be really sad about, I got into it from a different mental, you know what I mean? It was, I had to give 150% so that the people listening to their radios, and radios wasn't as sophisticated as they are now. You couldn't, you know, play with buttons. You had an on, an off, and an up, you know, very simple. So I wanted to make sure that what I was feeling was being communicated, even through a car radio or a radio in the house. And then somebody said, well, you know, that's what the volume control is for. But you know, as a kid, you don't know. And Elena so wonderfully put that I was 16, but I was 14 and a half. 14 and a half.